Genesis 45 today. Now, where we left off yesterday, or where we left off in the story of Genesis, however you're reading along, uh, we left that Joseph, well, we haven't seen his response to Judah's sacrificial plea to substitute himself in place of his brother. Now, before I say anything else about this chapter, I want you to think about this question. When people have wronged you, have been your enemies, have harmed you, and then they are in your power. Now, that may not be the power to punish them. It just may be they recognize that they are in your debt. How would you treat them? How do you treat them? I mean, Joseph's response to Judah and his put me as a slave, deal with me, take out your punishment on me, not my younger brother Benjamin. Joseph's response to Judah is to weep again. So much so that Pharaoh was made aware that your second in command is having a bad day. Something's going on. Again, remember, negative emotion shown publicly was just not done in Egyptian culture. Joseph reveals himself at this point to his brothers, and rather than looking for revenge, Joseph sends them, go get dad, go get our father, go bring the rest of the family, bring everyone to Egypt. Look, there's going to be 5 more years of famine. I can give you protection. I can give you status. You're connected to me. I'm second in command. Go get him. Pharaoh hears about what's going on, that Joseph's brothers have come in, and so this one who I raised from prison, here's the rest of his family, and he gives his royal assent. Yeah, go get your family. Bring them here. They'll be provided for. Now, here's the question, and what I love about this chapter and what I love about the story of Joseph. What shaped Joseph's life so that he could forgive rather than take revenge? One of my favorite movies, one of my favorite kind of fictional stories is The Count of Monte Cristo, where there's one who's wrongfully imprisoned and he's betrayed by his friend and he gets consumed by revenge and it almost destroys him. But then he learns the lesson of forgiveness. What shaped Joseph so that he could forgive? It was the same thing that shaped his ability not to give in to despair when betrayed by his brothers and made a slave and then put in prison wrongfully. It was the same thing that made Joseph's work ethic so that no matter what circumstance he found himself in, he did his best. He did what he believed was right in God's sight. And so he was the best servant in Potiphar's house and ended up being put in charge. And then he was the best prisoner in jail and ended up being put in charge of other prisoners and won the trust of the jailers. And then he was able to speak truth to power. I mean, imagine going from prison, you're now in front of the king, Pharaoh, and then not only interprets the dream, but has the gumption to say to the Pharaoh, here's a plan for how you can see your nation through the meaning of the dream that God has given you. See, the same thing that shaped Joseph's life is the same thing that can shape ours today. I took this line from a sermon, actually 3 sermons I listened to by Andy Stanley, but it stuck with me. It's a great line. Joseph did what anyone would do, what everyone can do, if they are firmly convinced God was with them. Notice in verse 5 through 8 of this chapter, Joseph said, it was God who was with me. And that goes back to Genesis 39. 4 times the phrase is there. The Lord was with Joseph. Joseph trusted God was always with him. Good circumstances, bad circumstances. And so he could look at his past, look at his brothers and their betrayal, and see they were faithless to me, but God was faithful. God was with me, and he is using these events. He used this past brokenness to bring about a greater healing in the present. So here's the thought for today. How might your view of your day today, yourself, your situation, your relationships, your past, how might your view of today be different if you firmly held the confidence that God was with you, for you, seeking your very best? What do you think God sees as your best today? Is it success, or is it being more like Jesus? Let's allow God's faithful love and his presence to shape how we see ourselves and others and our circumstances today. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you. May the Lord be gracious to you. And today, would you know his peace? God bless.